Hey guys, Billy from ad support here, and I just got off a call coaching some clients and speaking to another media buyer, and the biggest topic was using an opt-in on a VSL or not. So I wanted to handle that here. I'm pretty passionate about my answer to this, and I think a lot of people have got this wrong. So let's just dive straight into it and talk about why people decide that they're not going to use an opt-in, why I think you should, and then the reasons kind of for that. So first of all, I totally understand anybody that says that they're going to take an opt-in off the funnel. It totally passes the logic test. If your landing page conversion rate is 10%, 90% of people are never getting to the VSL, in which case you don't have an opportunity to sell to them. You don't have an opportunity to sell them or get them on a call. So I totally understand that. Your logic would be if you remove the opt-in, again, those 90% of people that would have never seen the page are now going to see the page, in which case the conversion rate to call should be higher. More calls, more closes, more return on ad spend. The other reason that I've seen people not use it as well is whether they're beginners or they don't really have a sales system or email system set up or team set up. If there's nobody that's going to be following up with the leads, then there's no point collecting an email. Vis-a-vis, there's no point having an opt-in with which collects an email because you're not doing anything with it. So you might as well just have them go straight to the VSL. So those are the arguments that people make for not having an opt-in on a VSL. I think those are sensible, logical, but wrong. So why should you have an opt-in on a VSL? One of the biggest things that I think is a really, really key differentiator, especially with YouTube ads, which if you're watching this video, you have an interest in, is Google needs more lead flow. Let's say, for example, in a good case scenario, your cost per lead is $150. Even if you're spending $100 a day, you're still only getting 5 or 6 calls a week, which is not enough for Google to optimize and to go and find more of those people. What I've seen people do is use a page view conversion for people that watch the VSL and then click through to the calendar. That's a very low intent action. And again, I think Google treats it as such. And so with the lack of call conversions, what you essentially turn your campaign into is a link click campaign, like it would be on Facebook. Essentially, you're just optimized for people that click to the calendar page, but not for people that book a call or take any sort of intentful action, like give you their information. So I've seen, especially when you're launching a new account and even going down the line, if you haven't established an account, Google needs to increase data flow from having a lead conversion, people giving you their information. That is a show of intent. Obviously, not 100% of the people that opt in are going to book a call. So it's not 100% match rate to the right kind of people. But that said, your VSL conversion rate should be between 50 and 20%. So in that case, those leads are way more valuable than just having a page view conversion of people clicking to the calendar. So that's one thing, very, very important. And one thing that it can lead to, which I don't know if I put it, is lower down. So again, even if you're using maximize conversions, so Google's going to try and find the maximum amount of conversions for your YouTube ads campaign based on the conversion action that you've given and what they think you can get it for. You will have massive spending problems if you aren't getting consistent calls, which most of the time I've seen not be the fact that it just doesn't work. So if you're not getting calls, again, even worse, if you have a target CPA set, if your target CPA set at $150 and you aren't getting calls booked, Google is just going to throttle the spend because it thinks it can't get conversions for the target cost per action that you've set. So in that case, it just throttles the spend. Your campaigns don't spend, you don't get leads, you don't get calls, you don't get sales. So big issue there. Second thing, there is another case for having the opt-in on there, is it a bit of a compliance ladder. Again, all of these things are things that contribute but don't make 100% difference. But again, if someone's given you, I would make the argument that if somebody's willing to give you their name, email address, and phone number, that person is way more likely to book a call. So you could also make the case that the conversion rate will be the same between having no opt-in and having an opt-in, because the likelihood is if somebody's not willing to give you their name, email address, and phone number, the likelihood that they book a call and then have to give you that information anyway is very low. So I don't think that argument stands up. Second thing, if you don't, so just to drill that home, again, if somebody's given you their information already, there's a level of intent that they've showed. They're more likely to consume the VSL because they've already, in their mind, made a commitment by giving you their information. So from that stance, it makes more sense. The last thing is catch and release. So essentially, if you don't have an opt-in, you have no way of following up with these people. Again, you can do retargeting campaigns for retargeting people that viewed the VSL or click to the calendar page, but that's not going to be as efficient as email follow-up. And again, even if you do retargeting to those leads, that's going to be way more efficient than just retargeting people that viewed the calendar page or viewed the VSL, because it's such a low intent action. So the situation you have here is that if somebody doesn't book a call, your only method of following up with that person and getting them on a call is through ads again. So we need to spend more money to show more ads to that person to hopefully get them to book a call. So again, it's very hard I've compiled as much data as I can, and I can't make a compelling difference between the two because there's so many factors that contribute to it. I could spin a web of lies and tell you that this is what contributes to it, this is what's correct, this is why it doesn't work, etc. But I'd be lying if I did. However, I would make the argument also that the amount of lead calls that you get through email follow-up, through retargeting those leads, etc., will more than make up for the landing page conversion rate and the 90%, 80% of people that you essentially lose in quotation marks by having an opt-in. So last thing, and again, this is probably the weakest argument, which is why it's last, I probably should have put it first, is that the biggest offers I've ever seen use an opt-in. All of the clients that I've worked with that have scaled to the most, whether it's Cole Gordon, not that I've worked with Cole Gordon, I don't want to make that assumption, make that correlation. Other offers that I've worked with that I'm under NDA for, that are spending 500 grand a month, 200 grand a month, whatever it is, they all use an opt-in, and that's proof. And again, we've tested going straight to VSL for these clients, but time and time again, the opt-in wins out. So it shouldn't be, again, this isn't a method of making decisions. You shouldn't just go, what are the people spending the most money in ads doing? Let me do exactly that. Because again, the whole point of this argument is that there's a bunch of things that you're missing, and parts that contribute to this complex system that is lead to call conversion rate or click to call conversion rate. There's a bunch of stuff that you're missing. It's the same thing. If you look at somebody who's super successful, spending 500 grand a month, and you just try and copy exactly what they're doing, there's a bunch of stuff they're doing that you don't know about, whether it's product market fit, whether it's how their sales team operate, whether it's their email system, whether it's exactly what they say in the ads, whether it's their setter team that you can't see. Like, there's a bunch of factors that contribute to it. So you shouldn't just copy other people, but worthwhile mentioning. I haven't had anybody show me an offer that has scaled to a significant amount just running straight to VSL that didn't get there by having an opt-in. So if that, again, happy to be wrong here. If you can show me an offer that's spending a significant amount, 100 grand, 200 grand a month plus, just running straight to VSL, and that's what they've always done, then, I'll be happy to be wrong. Next thing, what does the data say? So again, I've done tests across a bunch of accounts. Again, I've signed NDAs with clients, and we have confidentiality agreements, so I can't show you all of the data here. But the cost per call was lower in some instances. Again, there's lots of factors that contribute to this. Was it the audience? Was it the ads? Was it some other factor other than the fact that we're just running straight to VSL? However, I found in the best campaigns, which is what I'll use here, that the cost per call was lower. Again, those campaigns are all off for all of the clients because they just didn't produce the ROAS that we're expecting. So again, probably quality issue because there's no qualification before they hit the VSL, so anybody can kind of book a call. We don't currently have qualification on the calendar. One of those clients is cancelling calls that are not qualified, so that would negate some of that. But again, even if that's the case, it still doesn't make up for the fact that the ROAS was lower or non-existent. Next thing that I've consistently seen, even in mature accounts with lots of conversions, is spending problems. So if you're just having call be the only conversion, again, you can use the calendar view or VSL view, but I've not seen that to perform best. So what I've done when I've tested this, and the best campaigns had the call conversion and then the sale conversion, we use a tool called Hyros to send that offline conversion back to Google Ads or Facebook. And so having that conversion, there's consistent spending problems. Even if the cost per conversion is lower than the target CPA that you have set, it seems to still be spending problems just because of the infrequency of the conversions versus leads that you would have every single day. So that's a consistent issue. That's everything. That's my most compelling argument for this. Where I think there's a caveat here is if you have a super broad appeal BizOp. And again, if you don't have consistent email follow-up, you don't have setters calling leads from the VSL, then it probably makes sense for you to just go straight to VSL and just literally play the volume game, have as many people as possible watch the VSL. If it's broad appealing, again, you should get a significant number of those book a call. And if you offer something that's appeals to a broad range of people, then you should have quite a high close rate off the back of that. The second use case here that we use for a lot of our clients is for the YouTube organic call to action. Again, these people there's already intent created. If they've watched a 10-minute video, an hour video, whatever it is from you, we don't need to send them to an opt-in. We can just send them straight to the VSL because they've already been warmed up. They've already, again, taken a compliance step or a commitment by watching the video. It's very rare that somebody's going to click on a video and then just go straight to the description and start clicking stuff. So they've already taken an action, so we can send them straight to the VSL, and we've seen the conversion rate be pretty high from doing that. So again, that's it. I get frustrated about this. If I hear one more person tell me that you should not have an opt-in because the opt-in rate is 10%, and if you just had those extra 90% of people see the VSL, you get better results. That is not what I've seen in reality and in practice. So cool. That's everything. I'm going to end the video here. Any questions on this? Any different results from what I'm seeing? Happy to see it. Happy to have a debate about it. And I will see you in the next one.